The neon lights of the Route 66 truck stop flickered against the Arizona desert darkness at 1:43 a.m. Connor Hammer Kane pulled his black Harley-Davidson into the lot, followed by 5 other Steel Wolves MC members. They were exhausted, 250 miles behind them after a veterans charity ride in Flagstaff, another 100 still to go before Phoenix. The October night air was cold and sharp. Diesel fumes mixed with sage. The kind of quiet that makes you think the world has gone to sleep. Connor dismounted, his 6 feet 4 inches frame unfolding from the bike like a mountain taking shape. His leather vest bore the Steel Wolves patch, a snarling wolf head surrounded by chrome chains, worn with pride for 18 years. "Fill him up," Connor said, his voice gravelly from road wind and years of riding. "We're burning straight through to Phoenix." Around him, his crew moved into routine. Marcus Wrench Santos headed inside for coffee. His mechanical hands could rebuild an engine blindfolded, but right now he just wanted caffeine. Jade Phoenix Rivera started pumping gas, her red bandana catching the fluorescent lights. Tommy Bear Callahan stayed by the bikes, all 6 feet 5 inches, 280 pounds of him, gentle as a teddy bear until you gave him reason not to be. Carlos Ghost Ramirez checked tire pressure, always meticulous, always quiet. And Sarah Viper Chen leaned against her bike scrolling her phone, waiting for her turn at the pump. That's when everything stopped. "Connor." Jade's voice cut through the night. Sharp. Urgent. Not the tone she used for anything casual. Connor turned. Jade wasn't looking at him. She was staring at a battered grey panel van parked 3 pumps away. Engine running. Windows tinted dark except for one. Except for one rear window where something pale was pressed against the glass. A small hand. And behind that hand, a face. Connor's blood went cold. A little girl. Maybe 7 years old. Eyes wide with terror, mascara from someone's makeup bag smeared down her cheeks from crying. She was staring directly at Jade with the kind of desperation that drowns out everything else in the world. Her mouth moved slowly, deliberately, forming 2 words over and over. "Help me." Then she pressed something against the window. A white paper napkin. And written across it in shaky red lipstick she must have found somewhere in that van, were 3 words. "Help. Kidnapped. Please." For 3 seconds, nobody moved. Then Connor's instincts, honed from 12 years as an Army Ranger and 15 as a club president, kicked into overdrive. "Ghost, get behind that van. Block the exit." His voice was ice. "Bear, call 911. Jade, eyes on that window. Sarah, watch the station entrance." His crew moved without hesitation. Ghost rolled his bike directly behind the van's rear bumper. No escape. Bear pulled out his phone, fingers already dialing. Jade locked eyes with the little girl and nodded slowly. "We see you. We're helping." Inside the van, Lily Patterson's heart hammered so hard she thought it would explode. She'd been in this nightmare for 9 hours. 9 hours since the man grabbed her from the park near her aunt's house in Tucson. He'd told her if she screamed, if she fought, he'd hurt her baby brother. He'd shown her a knife. He'd shown her photos of her house. But now these people on motorcycles had seen her. The tough-looking woman with the red bandana was still staring, not looking away. The huge bearded man was on the phone. And the tallest one, the one with the scary wolf vest, was walking slowly toward the van. Lily's hand shook. Was this hope? Or was this worse? Connor approached the van like a predator circling wounded prey. Calm. Calculated. His boots crunched on gravel. He circled to the driver's side. Empty. He moved to the side panel door. Locked. Then he saw her clearly through a gap in the tint. She was zip-tied to a metal bar welded inside the van. Her thin wrists were raw and bleeding where she'd tried to pull free. Her face was swollen from crying. She wore a purple jacket with butterflies on it, the kind a grandmother buys because she thinks her granddaughter will love it. Connor's fists clenched so hard his knuckles cracked. He tapped the window gently. The girl flinched. "Hey, sweetheart," Connor whispered through the glass, his voice suddenly soft. Fatherly. "My name's Connor. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. You understand?" Lily nodded, tears streaming. "Good girl. We're getting you out. Just stay quiet for a few more minutes. Can you do that?" Another nod. Inside the truck stop, the kidnapper, later identified as Vincent Marsh, a convicted child trafficker with warrants in 3 states, finally got his credit card back from the cashier. He grabbed cigarettes and energy drinks, turned toward the door. And Marcus stepped directly into his path. "Excuse me, brother," Marcus said, his tone friendly but his body language anything but. He was blocking the exit. "You dropped something." Marsh's eyes narrowed. "I didn't drop nothing." "Move." "I'm pretty sure you did." Marcus didn't move an inch. Behind him, the cashier, a young woman named Ashley, quietly reached for the panic button under the counter. Outside, Bear was on the phone with 911. "Yeah, we got a kidnapping situation. Gray panel van, Arizona plate Delta, Foxtrot 7-4-2-9. Child visible in the back, restrained. Male suspect inside the building. We're at the Route 66 stop, mile marker 198 eastbound. Sir, officers are en route. ETA 6 minutes. Do not approach the suspect." "Too late for that," Bear said, watching Marcus block the door. "Just get here fast." Inside, Marsh's hand moved toward his jacket pocket. Marcus saw it. "I wouldn't do that if I were you, brother," Marcus said, his voice dropping an octave. "There's 6 of us out there. 1 of you. And we don't take kindly to people who hurt kids." Marsh's eyes darted to the window. He saw them. All of them. Surrounding his van like wolves. His escape route blocked. Panic twisted his face. His hand flew out of his pocket, not with a weapon, but making a desperate grab for the door. Marcus caught his wrist, twisting it behind his back in one fluid motion. "You're not going anywhere, you sick bastard." The gas station attendant had already hit the alarm. Within seconds, they had Marsh on the ground, hands zip-tied behind his back with the same restraints he'd used on Lily. Outside, Connor kept one hand on the van, speaking in a steady voice through the gap. "Help is coming, sweetheart. Police are almost here. You're safe now. Nobody's going to hurt you. I promise." Lily's body shook with silent sobs. For 9 hours she'd been terrified. 9 hours of not knowing if she'd ever see her mother again. And now these sparer-looking people with tattoos and leather vests were her lifeline. The sound of sirens approached rapidly. "That's the police," Connor said softly. "They're going to get you out. You just stay strong, okay? You did so good. So good." 2 police cars screeched into the parking lot. Officers jumped out, weapons drawn. Connor held his hands up, backing away from the van. "Kidnapped child in that van," Connor shouted. "Suspect is secured inside the station. Child needs immediate medical attention. She's been in there 9 hours." The lead officer, Sergeant Amy Rodriguez, a 12-year veteran with 3 kids of her own, nodded sharply. "Good work. Step back. We've got it from here." Within minutes, EMTs opened the van. Lily's little face appeared in the opening. Swollen. Traumatized. But alive. "Hello, sweetheart. My name's Officer Kim. You're safe now. Your mom's going to be here really soon. I promise." As they carefully removed the zip ties and lifted Lily into the ambulance, she looked back at the bikers. At Connor, standing there with his wolf vest and grey beard. At Jade with the red bandana. At Marcus and Ghost and Bear and Sarah. Her eyes locked with Connor's for one final moment. Then she was gone. Off to the hospital. Off to safety. Off to her mother. 3 hours later, the Steel Wolves sat in the police station giving statements. They'd been there since 2 a.m., recounting every detail. "You took an enormous risk," Sergeant Rodriguez said. "If he'd pulled a weapon, this could have gone very differently." "We know," Connor said quietly. "But we couldn't just watch." Rodriguez set down her pen. "I want you to know something. Vincent Marsh is a convicted child trafficker. He has warrants in Arizona, Nevada, and California. 3 confirmed victims over the last 5 years. 2 more children still missing." Connor and his crew exchanged looks. Their decision to block that van had prevented what could have been a lifetime of trauma for Lily, and possibly revealed evidence about 2 other missing children. "Lily's mother is here," Rodriguez continued. "She's asking to thank you." Within minutes, a woman in her mid-30s with Lily's same brown eyes rushed into the room, tears streaming down her face. Her name was Rebecca Patterson. "Thank you," she choked out. "Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you hadn't been there, if you hadn't seen her." She broke down. And Connor, this tough, tattooed biker president, stood up and held her while she cried. "Your daughter is incredibly brave," Jade said softly. "She was smart. Quick thinking. She found that lipstick. She wrote that sign. She did everything right." "She asked about you," Rebecca said, wiping her eyes. "She kept saying, 'The nice bikers saved me.' That's what she called you. The nice bikers." 1 month later, Connor stood outside a school gymnasium, nervous in a way he hadn't been since his first combat deployment. The Steel Wolves had been invited to an assembly at Lily's elementary school. Lily came running onto the basketball court, still healing emotionally but smiling brighter than any 7-year-old should have to smile after surviving hell. "That's them," she shouted, pointing at Connor and his crew. "Those are my guardian angels." The entire gymnasium erupted in applause. Kids stood and cheered. Teachers wiped their eyes. Lily ran down the court and hugged Connor around the middle, burying her face in his leather vest. "Hi, sweetheart," Connor said, his voice thick with emotion. "Good," Lily said. "I'm doing really good. I wanted to tell you I wasn't scared when you were there. I knew you were going to save me." Connor's hand shook as he held this little survivor. The school principal took the microphone. "Students, I want you to learn something today about judging people by appearance. These motorcycle club members are heroes. They're also fathers, veterans, and community leaders. When they saw someone in danger, they didn't hesitate. That's what real courage looks like." That night, the Steel Wolves clubhouse was packed with families from the school. All wanting to shake hands, to thank them, to tell their kids that sometimes the people who look the toughest have the softest hearts. Connor sat at a back table, watching Marcus teach kids motorcycle safety. Watching Jade help a young girl with homework. Watching Ghost and Bear play video games with neighborhood boys. This was the real Steel Wolves story. Not the tough guy biker stereotype. But men and women who chose to protect innocence. Who chose to stand against darkness. Who chose to be the kind of people their community needed. And all it took was one moment. 1:43 a.m. truck stop. One little girl with a desperate sign pressed against glass. And 6 people brave enough to act. If this story moved you, remember, real heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes they wear leather and ride Harleys. Subscribe for more stories proving that the fiercest warriors are the ones protecting the innocent. Comment "Heroes Ride" if you believe courage means standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Share to remind the world that angels come in unexpected forms, sometimes covered in tattoos and scars.